Hey guys, it's Appleminte. Welcome back again to my channel. And in today's video, I was sent a bunch of awesome art supplies from the brand Pentel, which you may have heard of. So I'm really excited to unbox them. They gave me a lot of stuff, enough to do some giveaways actually. So stay tuned if you want to hear more about that, and let's get into unboxing. So Pentel sent me a giant box of art supplies. They actually sent me a few sets of everything in the box. So I'm going to be giving away a few sets of all of the art supplies that they sent me. If you're interested in learning about the giveaway, stay tuned. I will talk about that in a little bit. But first, I want to show you guys what they sent me and what I will be giving away. So I'll start with the smaller items first. The first thing that is in here is a mechanical pencil, 0.7 lead, which is pretty standard size for lead, but I always prefer mechanical pencils over regular pencils in terms of sketching, just because I like the fact that you never have to sharpen them, and I don't know, I just find them easier and the point is always a little bit finer. The next thing in here is a super low viscosity ballpoint pen. A ballpoint pen. There's not much to say about that. I'm gonna try to go a little bit in order here in terms of, I guess, type of art supply. So next up is their inking pens. So it is a set of inking pens from sizes 0.05 millimeter thickness to 0.8, which is great because I'm actually running low on the ones that I'm already using. It says that they can be used with watercolor pencil, you know, watercolors and things like that. So that tells me that they're probably, oh yeah, there we go, water and fade resistant, which is good because you know, especially with alcohol markers, you want things that aren't going to bleed and destroy your artwork. So I'm always looking for that. Next up is a really big set of pens, ink pens that are supposed to glide very well, and they are all different colors, as you can see, which as a kid, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but when I was in high school, I would get really excited whenever I would get a colored pen. Like, is that just me? You know, anything besides blue, black, or red. I would just get really excited anytime I got one, and I would treasure it. So this set is bringing me back to my school days. Next up is, I think, my favorite art supply in this whole box, and it is the set of glitter pens. These are so pretty. If they work how they look like they're going to work, I'm very excited. So I definitely want to use these a lot today. It comes with 8 different colors, and it says that they look different depending on if you're drawing with them on dark paper or light paper. So that's pretty interesting. I'm gonna guess that has something to do with maybe the glitter in them. The last pen-like item in here is a set of flexible brush pens. And this is an interesting color selection as well. As you can see, they don't have any yellow or orange, but it's got a nice selection of colors that I would use, or that I like at least. So I'm interested to see how these work. Up next is a set of water brushes. These, whenever I do watercolor, I don't do it as much anymore, but when I did, these were a staple for me because I find them very convenient, and they're great to bring with you because you can fill the barrel up with water. I actually have a lot of these myself. And then the last thing in here is a set of watercolor pencils. So this is a 36 set, which is pretty big actually. So here are all the colors included, and fun fact, if you're into doll customizing, I used to do it a little bit, I used to dabble, but watercolor pencils are really good for getting some fine detail on the faces of what you're drawing. They're less waxy. Okay, so I lied. I said that was the last thing, but technically they included one more thing. There's only one of these in here, so this is for me, but it's a special pocket brush pen in a medium size, according to the box. So this is for inking, and it's really cool. It's very premium looking, especially with the packaging. So thank you for this, Pentel. But everything you see on screen right now will be included in the giveaway. I have multiple sets. So if you're interested in joining for a chance to win a set of these, it is open internationally, and it is open for the next few weeks. So you can check out the giveaway link in the description box below. So all the information is there. You can enter the giveaway for free, and good luck to everybody. So let's get to trying some of these supplies and see what we can do. So to test these art supplies, I'm going to be using a sketchbook that I got from somebody named Nina Cosford. She sent this to me a while back and I never actually got a chance to try it out, but I figured today would be a great opportunity since this sketchbook has paper that's a little bit on the thinner side than what I normally use. It's not necessarily built for watercolors or anything mixed media, but I think it would be good for pen work, color pencil, and maybe some light marker work. So that's why I chose it for today. And also a lot of my other paper is just a little bit too gritty, I think, for pens. So yeah, today's a good opportunity to use this sketchbook. And let me just say, there's nothing like opening up a new sketchbook and just like using it. But anyway, for this video, what I want to be doing is trying out a few different things. And so I decided to focus more on the pens that were included in this box of stuff from Pentel. So specifically the gel pens, the glitter pens, and the fine point markers, the brush markers, I think, as they were written. So I have a good range of different colors that I want to stick with, but what I decided to do was to do just a bunch of sketches in pen, which is kind of permanent. It's kind of scary, which is why, you know, I make little mistakes here and there, and some things I'm not 100% happy with, but honestly, it's all for fun, and it's actually kind of interesting to just start from scratch, I guess, without a sketch underneath it, because the sketching phase is where you can kind of play around the most with shapes and, you know, build out what you want your character to be like, the anatomy, the pose. Whereas with these, I'm just kind of going off the top of my head, the first thing that comes to mind, and I'm just going with whatever I think looks good, I guess, with the lines I already put down on the paper. There were things that if I had been drawing in pencil, I definitely would have just changed, or I would have sketched out. Like, some stuff to me looks a little wonky, but, you know, that's the beauty of using pens. I think I used to do a lot more pen sketches when I was back in school because, you know, you're sitting at your desk and that's what you have with you. You have your sketchbook, well, not sketchbook, you have your notebook and you have your pencil case full of pens. So I would do a lot of sketches in pen back in the day, but I'm definitely out of practice with it, you know. I used to think, and I think I still do feel, that a lot of my best drawings, or ones that I like the most, tend to be my doodles and my sketches. The ones that, you know, didn't have a lot of planning behind them and were just kind of made up on the fly. So this was definitely bringing me back to a little bit of that, and I was having a lot of fun with this video as a whole. But to talk about the art supplies a little bit, right, because I wanted to get to that, and I've just been going on about my drawings. I really, really like them. I know, you know, they're not anything crazy like 300 set of markers or anything like that, but I really am happy with these supplies. The pens themselves are very, very smooth, and the ink is really nice, and the color selection as well. Like I said, like this teal one right here, this turquoise color, it's really pretty, as well as the pink. Those are my two favorites. But yeah, none of it was streaky, and as you can see, when I draw and when I write, my hand tends to kind of smudge against the paper, or like rub against the paper, I should say, but none of the lines are smudged, if you can tell. So it dries pretty quickly, and I didn't have any issues with smearing. The only areas I had to be careful with was with the gel pens, because those were even inkier. So I would give those like a few seconds, maybe 5 to 10 seconds, if I put down a bunch of glitter pens. If I put a bunch of glitter down, and then, you know, give that a second to dry, so I'm not just like smudging my whole thing. But my idea with these was to use the gel pens for the main drawing, to use the glitter pens for darker outlines and some detailing, and then to take these brush pens and go in and just kind of fill in different areas, because actually all of the brush pens that I end up using in this are lighter colors of, you know, the ones that I'm putting down. So in this blue one, the blue brush pen that I used for her hair, for example, is lighter than the pen that I used to outline the drawing. So it worked out that I could actually kind of color with these. They're definitely water-based, so I couldn't do any kind of fancy blending or anything, but I kind of like the sketchy, gritty look that these supplies lend, and like, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun to be a little more free with the art supplies rather than worrying about everything being perfect, and just having fun with each thing. And I was just pretty much going with whatever I felt when I was picking up a specific color. Like orange, for example, give me a lot of happy vibes, floral vibes. So I wanted to make somebody with flowy hair, smiley, you know, and add some details around that. So I was just kind of going off whatever idea came into my head. So these supplies definitely help me be really creative in that sense, because it's stuff that I don't normally do, but it kind of calls back to the days when I did do stuff like this more in school. But yeah, I implore you guys to try stuff like this every now and then, just to push yourself to get away from being so overly critical of every single stroke and every single line and all that, and just kind of go back to having fun with it, being free with your drawings, and just going for it rather than worrying about it. So yeah, this was great. Thank you so much to Pentel for sending me this huge box of supplies. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you are interested in winning a set of every single art supply that I tried plus more, definitely go check the link in my description below, because the giveaway will only be open for a few weeks. So it is open internationally, as I mentioned, and anybody is welcome to join. It is free to join, free of charge. You just have to be okay providing me your address, obviously, so I can ship the supplies to you. But anyway, thank you again to Pentel, and as always, I have all of my links in the description below. The link to my online store, Patreon pin club, Discord server, and my Instagram. All of it is there. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's little bit of a different video, and I'll see you all next Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time as always. Hope you have a happy December. Bye bye!